Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's the Pen Entrepreneurs here, and today what we'll be doing is we'll be continuing our investing with Max series. If you guys have not watched the previous video, I highly suggest you guys go watch that now. As a disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes only, and if you're looking for financial advice, I highly suggest you seek out a registered financial advisor. If that makes sense, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here. So today, well, what I'm actually doing is I'm sharing my content with you guys earlier, but this is for the March update because Camille and I and the family, we're gonna go to Hawaii for 1 week. So what I wanted to do is pre-record this so that for the next Sunday that I normally upload, it will be all premiered and all set up for you guys. But yeah, so anyway, this is the March update, and what we're seeing right now is not a typical March that we've seen in the past, where we're seeing the hype going up and seeing the 100% days, in 1 day kind of thing. So we're not seeing that today. But I'll just quickly over like the cannabis space. I'll talk about Rib Capital. I'll look at Lifeis, PLGB, Weed, ACB, Tilray, and we'll look at the 50-day moving average and also the 100 and 200. And if that makes sense, let's get started here. So what you can see is Riv Capital. And right now, so today is actually the market is open. Today is Monday, it's the 6th, and it's down negative 2.86%, and it's at 17 cents. And what we saw here is basically it did hit the support on the range of like 16-15 cents, so we can say this is like around 16 cents. And what we can see here is basically it touched that, then it's going to that resistance, which is around, I would say, 18 cents to 17 and a half, right? So right now it's a red day, but the previous day it was a green day. And when we look at the 50-day moving average, we're looking at the 100 and also the 200. We're not seeing anything significant. I don't see any golden cross or death cross. But what I want to see is this green line. You can see here, green line. If this starts to come back up and hits the blue, which is the 100-day moving average, and touches the 200 moving average, if we see this come up, we might see a golden cross, right? But right now we're not seeing anything that is quite significant in terms of the legalization in the US and all that stuff, right? There's still a lot of fear in the market, which is, I guess, in this case 2023 is normal. A lot of people are getting laid off, like big tech companies are laying people off, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now. But anyway, so what I want to see is great news coming up, but we're not seeing that. So you can see that the volume is super small. The last spike was on February 23rd, where you saw 305K volume, and the day after that, which is the 24th, we saw 251K volume. And ever since then, it's just been going down and not much action. Some of them are 4K, some of them are 20K. Today was at 62K, so volume is not good at all. All right, so if I go to Riv Capital here, you can see that the day he made the deal last year, blah blah blah, no new Norb or Noob, your Twitter post said that the new deal you made would be great for shareholders value. Which shareholder give us a reply, blah 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 blah. Then after that, you can see here the interim financial statement for Rev Capital. And if you wanted to look at this, you can, but basically it was March 1st. This is the Rev Capital reports fiscal third quarter 2023 financials. Okay. So a look at Lifeis. So here, what you can see for Lifeis as well, it did hit the support resistance on the 27th, where on the 1st as well, you can see this 171K volume, closed at 6 cents and a half, and basically the high of 6 cents and a half and a low of 5.5 cents. So you can see that right there, the support and resistance. So it's just hovering there. So this is interesting. So this is basically here, so this is the 50-day moving average, then it basically hit this 100-day moving average. Then basically once it hit this 200 moving average, you can see that is basically like a death cross that you saw there, and it just kind of like hovering around that same line. So right now for LifeS, that's why you're not seeing a huge spike or anything like that, and even with the volume, it's pretty choppy. You're looking at, the uh, March 2023 kind of play. We're not seeing huge news like what I said earlier, and not much progress with the legalization in the US space. So we really need big news to come up. But if you look at this lightning thing here, the last news for LifeS is LifeS Wellness Micra begins sell of new and improved cell F formulation, right? Let me see if I go to not. I want to say Namaste because it used to be Namaste, but LifeS here. I believe, which one was it? It was here. Yeah, I remember March 2nd. It says LifeS Canmart continues to capture market share, generate strong sales for royalty in Alberta. So this was, this was posted on March 2nd, but look at the volume on March 2nd, pretty much nothing, right? So it's basically a red day, high of 6.5 cents, low of 5.5, and basically the volume for this one was around 348k. So, and it was a red day. And anyway, so if I click on this news on March 2nd, you can see that LifeS, a health tech company that leverage advance in science and technology to build breakthrough companies that transform human wellness, today announced the CanMart in-house concentrates brand royalty increases sales by 43 year over year in the province of Alberta. So that's pretty good news for them, right? Especially for the in-house brand that they have for royalty. They're seeing pretty good success for this particular brand, and basically you can see this kind of just like breaks it down and the highlights of it. If you want to read it, just check it out in co.ca. So if I go to BLGV, not much going on. Like, look at this, super choppy. Volume sucks. The last volume here you can see is 79k volume, but yeah, like it's still pretty choppy there, right? So not much we can see in terms of patterns for BLGV. If I go here, BLGV, the last message was from, like in the board here, was February 4th. New events, price action over past year, pathetic. So this guy looks like he's pretty upset, kind of like what I said in our last video. So BLGV is not doing so good. And if I go to weed, what we can see here, so on March 6th, so basically volume is not bad. Basically, if I go here, it's at around almost 1916k, so almost a million. High of $3.15, low of $3.03, and close of $3.04. And yeah, so what we're planning, or what we want to see, so if you want to see a volume gradually comes back up and also hit this resistance. If we can pass this resistance, then we'll be in this support resistance here, where you can see this major gap down. So normally what I've seen in the past is this gap down, they always get filled. Well, not always, but I would say 90% of the time it gets filled. Kind of like when we saw it in here from the last gap down, right? So it took few, I would say, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trading days for it, for the gap down to be filled. So right now, let's see this. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days, and the gap hasn't filled yet. So what we want to look at is we want to see this gap be filled in the next couple of trading days. If we see that, then we're going to see a bullish trend. You can see the 50-day moving average hitting the 100 moving day average here. So it did, you can see that it is a red, I would say like semi death cross. Normally, what I like to see if it's a golden cross or a death cross is the 50-day moving average hitting the 200 moving average. So what I'm hoping to see is this green, this one here, this green 50-day moving average pass the red day moving average. If you see that, we might see a bullish trend and a reversal trend happening. All right, so that's for weed. And if I go to our weed channel here for CEO.ca, somebody said, WS, nice close on March 3rd, finding some movements. Are we going to see $5 soon? Sold all my other psych and weed position to move here, blah, 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 blah. But Canopy Growth announced US 150 million registered direct offering. So this was announced on February 21st, about 150 million registered direct. So if you guys haven't seen this, but basically what's happening is Canopy Growth is offering 150 million registered direct offering, and in here you can see that it announced basically this is, oh, I can't remember who the institutional investor is. I want to say it's one of the big I think it's BMO. I can't remember on top of my head, but it's one of the big banks that is the institutional investor of 150 million aggregate principal, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if it says here, pursuant, blah, 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 150 convertible, or is it ATB Financial? I can't remember now. Yeah, it's so long ago when I read this one. Canopy Growth, da, 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 da. I guess it doesn't tell you here. But maybe if I go back to here, let's see if it will be able to see it. Yes, it's ATB Financial. So ATB Financial Market acts as a sole placement agent for Canopy Growth US 150 million registered direct offering. So yeah, if you guys want to read this, definitely check this out. But yeah, that's a big move. ACB, it's maintaining that support resistance. So you can see that the support resistance it's been its lowest, and it's just maintaining that. And like we can see here as well too is the 50-day moving average and 100-day moving average. It did touch that around October 2022. But what we want to see, if we want to see that reversal trend, is first I want to see the volume pick up. Second, I want to see this green touches the 100 to 200 moving average, so we might see that golden cross. But ultimately, for that to happen, we need some hype, we need some good news happening in the sector. If we're not seeing that, ultimately we're not going to see the stock price go up. There's a lot of, what I said before, uncertainty in the market right now. So a lot more people are trying to hold on to their money, and they don't want to invest in high risk investment. So ACB, oh yeah, so let me go to ACB here. So it looks like they had some filing 8 reports, full report. So let's click on this insider. What did the insider do? March 5th. Let's look at SETI. It's loading. So 32,000 volume, rights, deferred shares, yada yada yada. This is on the second though. Filed at the second 28. Sorry, this is for the date second 28. So February 28, then March 5th. And so that was Teresa, Norma, Ronald, Adam, Margaret, Lance, Chitwan, and Michael. All right. And the latest news for this one on March 2nd is Aurora launches new medical flower product, Valor, designed for veteran by veteran. And if you click on this newswire, you'll be able to see that particular product. So that looks pretty cool, right? You can see that sold under the Med Relief brand. Da 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 da. Good to go. All right, so let's look at Telray. So this guy's the big guys, the big three. They're acting kind of like similar. You can see that this one was a 50-day and also a 100-day. It did cross to form that same semi golden cross. Then after that, you can see the death cross, semi death cross. It hit that green, then the 100-day moving average. Then you can see this green moving average. We want to see, so we want to see this like touch the 200-day moving average, right? But volume, not much. Last trading day, which was today, was 738K. High of $3.82, low of $3.63, close at $3.65, so almost down 4%. So negative 3.69%, and you can see that here. And it's trying to maintain the support and resistance. So it did, like the past trading days, it did hit this support and resistance, right? So now it's hovering in this new support and resistance here. Like what I said earlier, we need good news. If we don't see any good news, we might see some consolidation happening. So if I go to Tilray here, latest news is March 1st. Prominently Canadian cannabis brand Kanaka introduced new collective of terpene-rich product across Canada. So if I click on this, basically it just talks about Tilray brand. A leading global cannabis lifestyle and consumer packaged good company today announced the launch of the latest innovation by its quintessentially Canadian cannabis lifestyle brand, Kanaka. Introducing Bursts and Darts, Kanaka reveals its newly added prominently Canadian products across Canada, including 4-mile flower-based products joining the Kanaka family, the 4 SKU. So it's talking about this 4 SKU. And the Burst, Darts, so more in-depth what it is. So about Kanaka and about Telren brand. So yeah, basically that's what we're seeing for the March update for the cannabis space. Not much action going on, but what I'm hoping to see is that I'm hoping to see in the next week or so those trading days, kind of like with weed, want to see that gap filled. If we can see that gap filled, then we might see a golden cross happening in the near future, and if we see that, a reversal trend will happen, and hopefully we get our SP to hit this again, right? This was the high of $6.44 was the high, and like a year ago, man, look at this. A year ago it was at like $18.27 high, right? So this one was 19.98 high, so $20. So whoever bought in at this top, they're seeing the pain. Some here invested at $43, and this was on March 2021. But that's how the game plays, right? That's depending on the market volatility and how people perceive that. So yeah, you can see it's been beaten down quite significantly, the cannabis space, especially for weed. So yeah, if you would have shorted this, you would have made a lot of money for sure. So this was on the February 2021. So it's at 56, high of 60, 56. So yeah, here. High of 71.6. Wow, that's insane. All right, so what I normally do is I'll show you the existing account that I have that is currently what you can expect that's been down. So here it's down, basically unrealized gain for the year, 79.83, so minus $12,043.06. And LifeS is down 80% and 26 cents, and Rib Capital is significantly down. It's down 85 and 23 cents. So yeah, what I'm hoping to see is in the near future. Right now it's kind of like consolidating a little bit, right? We can see that in the last few days it's been consolidating, or last trading days. And what I want to see, if we want to see the stocks go back up, is volume, hype, and if we get some good news. If we do, then that's gonna bring the stock back up again. Until then, we'll see you guys next time, and I'm sure I'm gonna be super dark when I come back. I'm gonna get super tan for sure. It's gonna be nice. And yeah, take care. Ciao.